is obtained, it is able to establish a baseline for all others using the assessment in the future. For the SPM and the SPMP, it is from the large groups around 1,600 children that we mentioned earlier. These individuals were assessed on observatory information related to the 7 primary senses, planning or praxis, social participation, and how all of it works together. Within these assessment manuals, there are dozens of data tables that contains these baseline data scores for each category. Now, reliability, we know, is how consistent the measurement tools within the assessment actually are. One way of qualifying this is through test-retest studies. Study 1 that we found determined that reliability of the SPM school and home form was at 0.94 after 2 weeks, which is relatively close to 1. Well, Study 2 determined that SPM home and school forms reliability was good to excellent. Now, validity, as we remember, is measuring how correct results in an experiment are. Convergent validity discovers how related 2 measures are, when discrimination validity proves how 2 measures are not related to each other. One study we found compared the SPM home form to a different sensory assessment. This resulted in significant correlations between their testing measures, therefore confirming both tests' convergent validity. Another study just used the SPM, except this involved comparing scores of both typical and atypical developing children. Doing so supported the strong differences in each group's scoring, equaling to a low p-value. This supports the discriminant validity of the SPM as well. Administration of the assessment does not require any training. The home form can be completed by a home care provider or a parent. The classroom form can be completed by a primary teacher. The school form can be completed by any other school personnel. Responses for each question in a row can be categorized as never, occasionally, frequently, or always. Then, these scores will lead to different total scores in ranges later at the end of the assessment. The assessor will locate the correct form for the child's age. They will tear off the first summary sheet and set it aside for later. Then, looking at the second sheet, the assessor will fill out the name and other needed info at the top. Then, once the assessment begins, the adult will make dark circles in each row for their answer that we mentioned earlier. Then, when these are completed, these dark circles will transfer to the worksheet inside, and this will find the score. Also note that 8+ answers within a book will not lead to a not scored assessment. The internal scoring worksheet calculates raw scores for each section assessed, which is visually seen within brackets on the sheet, and also total score, which is more central to the page. Then, these raw scores are applied to the summary sheet from the first page in individual columns. Each answer is circled, then connected to each other in a line graph. Right of this visual is a column which calculates both the t-score and percentile that the child has scored. These 2 values can be developed to an interpretive range, which would be qualified as typical, some problems, or dysfunction. Also, examples of each of these sheets are on the following pages.